Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the Empress Club, Book 3, Checkmate. This is Chapter 3, Discipline. Now, discipline is life. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 13, goes as thus. Straight is the road, narrow is the bridge that leads to life. I remember that as a young man, and I made a I don't know, I like to say a vow, but anyway, I made a vow. That's how I'm going to live my life, on the straight road and on the narrow bridge. And the Bible also said, few are those that travel that bridge. On the other bridge is littered with people, but they're going down the path of destruction. Gentlemen, if you're in the Empress Club, you have to be on the straight road and the narrow bridge, because that's the path to life. Anything else leads to calamity. You are the shaper of destiny. So you can't be on the road that leads to calamity and destruction. You have a purpose. And I learned something about the importance of discipline from watching the sun and the moon. And I realized the moon changes, but the sun doesn't. Of course, there's scientific reasons behind that, but there's another lesson to it. The sun is constant. And I had spoken to a teacher about this, and she found it funny that I was able to see that. And what she said, right, that is a lesson, because the universe is built on order. The universe is not built on chaos. And the sun is a perfect example of that. The sun is constant. And gentlemen, you've got to look at yourself as the sun. You've got to be consistent. You've got to be disciplined. You are the symbol of order. Chaos should have no place in your life. Not if you're in the Empress Club. Now, if you love drama and chaos, that's good. You can do that. That's your choice. But you can't do it here, because you bring in chaos into a place where there's order, where order should be. Now, excuse me. This reminds me of when you go in places where it is immaculate and beautiful, that you would be ashamed of yourself to throw trash. And I remember in New York, to this day, I cannot remember where I saw this place. If any of you been there, please let me know where it is. It's a garden inside the lobby of a building, because I saw it on the outside and I went inside. I felt like I was in another world. It was a Zen garden, and it felt peaceful, tranquil, out of this world. And whenever the door closed to the building, you don't hear all the noise of New York City. It is as if you are in another world. And it was immaculate. It was beyond beautiful. It was almost a religious experience. And then I understood the value of a Zen garden. I experienced it. I read about it and studied it and tried to build one. But it was not until I went in one, in the middle of New York City, Midtown Manhattan. Is between 51st Street and Lexington, all the way down to the UN building, up across to Times Square. In that area, I've been going on for years, over at least 10 years trying to find that building. But I saw what order does. And I said, that had an effect on me, on my mind, body, and soul. To this day, I remember that. Every time I think about New York, I remember going in that building. And when the door closed, you didn't hear New York. And you were in a garden, a Zen garden, that was immaculately cared for. Now, whether that has anything to do with this, it has everything to do with it. Everything was in its place. There was order. And gentlemen, that is what your life should reflect. And that is the benefits to me, in my humble opinion, my little experience on this earth, what discipline does for you, emotionally and mentally. Having discipline turns your inner landscape into a Zen garden, that even in the midst of New York City, there's peace and tranquility. And that's the benefit of order, gentlemen. And like I said in the second book about the divine frequency, that's another thing why you need discipline in your life, so that you are vibrating on the divine frequency. The sun is constant. The sun is disciplined. And the sun is symbolic of the giver of light and life on earth. And if you have the choice between vibrating on the lowest common denominator frequency available or the highest, why not choose the highest? And all it requires is discipline. That's a small price to pay, gentlemen, to be on the divine frequency. But don't forget, the esoteric law of as above, so below, as within, so without. So why not operate on the same frequency as the divine? Why not put yourself in a position to receive from the divine just because you're operating on the frequency? And the price you pay is discipline. I will walk a straight road. If it's only 1 foot wide, and that's what I get to walk on to be on the divine frequency, so be it. If I have to walk on a bridge, that's only 1 foot wide, so be it. You need discipline, gentlemen. Discipline is supposed to be a way of life for you. And in addition to it, the discipline, the reason why I live with discipline was something I read that says that a man who is in control of himself is worth a king's ransom. And that's why I named the series, the Empress Club. With discipline, gentlemen, you are worth a king's ransom. Because you are vibrating on the divine frequency. This is another aspect of discipline I got from... I'm fascinated by the Japanese because in 5th grade I learned that they do not have a word for failure. And that fascinated me because that was my approach to life. I'm never going to lose if being prepared puts me in a position to always win. Again, practice makes permanent. That was my approach to life. I'm always going to win if winning is going to be determined by my preparation. So when I realized that there's a whole nation that thinks like that, there's not even a word in their vocabulary for failure, I fell in love. Now, I was watching something on the samurai a lifetime ago. I think it was far back as 1988 or something like that, where this guy, he makes swords. He makes swords. I don't know if he's alive. Lord of mercy, I hope he's alive, because that's one thing I want to do, watch the sword be made. Anywho, I can't remember what narrator had asked the gentleman, but he had said that if you cry in the dojo, you will laugh on the battlefield. But if you laugh in the dojo, you will cry on the battlefield. And that's when discipline is life became a part of me. There ain't no way I'm going to be crying on the battlefield. And if I cry in the dojo, I can laugh. I'm going to be crying in the dojo all day. So when I get on the battlefield, I'm going to be laughing. Discipline is life. I eat, sleep, and breathe discipline. I live my life by strict military discipline. I'm not going to be crying on the battlefield of life. Especially when I can control it. And all I have to do is exercise discipline over myself. I'm sorry. Gentlemen, like the man says, you cry in the dojo, you will laugh on the battlefield. You laugh in the dojo, you will cry on the battlefield. I mean, I could end the chapter right now. Now, because this is for 10-year-olds, I'm going to go on. For those who are 16 and older, you don't need to watch this anymore. I would hope that you do. But that's all there is to it. When and where you laugh and cry is up to you. Discipline is life, gentlemen. It's not going to kill you. In fact, it may save your life. Excuse me. What was the other thing, man? Something with discipline. It just came to mind. Anyway, the importance of discipline. I'll give you an example of the importance of discipline that applies to everyday life. Something as simple as the road signs, obeying the rules of the road. Just imagine if no one respected the traffic lights. That's why you need discipline. To govern yourself. And Dr. Miles Monroe was saying, this is why children need men in their lives, because men are a symbol of authority, law, order, and structure. And if there's no man in the house, the children have no respect for authority. That's why when they go in the street and drive, the traffic light means nothing to them. They are out of control. The stop sign means nothing to them. Having to be told not to drink and drive means nothing to them. Because the symbol of self-control and discipline is out of the house. The symbol of order is out of the house. The symbol of authority is out of the house. So chaos is the natural order of things. And you just imagine you obeying the rules of the road, and everyone else isn't. You take your life into your own hands when you go driving. That's the importance of discipline. It is a shield against chaos. Let's see what else. I try to do this from memory, but you remember, when I said short pencil beats the long memory. That's the truth, because there's so much information here. All right. Well, I basically said what I wrote down already about the reason why you need well-developed men in society. And that's the purpose of the Empress Club, to develop boys into men. Because if the men are crippled, then the society is crippled. And that society is not long to collapse. Because it can't function. And you need discipline, gentlemen, so that you can live your life where you put the horse. Hello. Okay, you put the horse before the cart. All right. Reason for self-control. All right. The importance of discipline is for self-control. So before you can handle power, you've got to be able to control yourself. And you can't give orders when you're out of order. First of all, it's not even going to be respected. And you can't run a house like that. You can't run, first of all, you can't run a house like that. You can't run a business like that. You can't run a country like that. There has to be order. So you're going to need discipline. Discipline is both practical and esoteric. But anyway, gentlemen, you need discipline. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's me. We'll catch you on the flip side, chapter 4, common sense. All right. Goodbye, gentlemen.